Oh, F you, F you, F you. Hello everybody, and welcome to Creative Gaming, the show where we inject a bit of RNG into our playthroughs, either for challenge purposes or just a new way to play the game. Today we're doing a pretty big game, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, one of my favorite games from recent times. This game has it all: fun puzzles, great exploration in a large world, adventure, fun characters. Some people argue that the story is a bit weak, but I wouldn't quite agree, and we'll probably talk about it more as I play. So today I'm gonna go for a unique playthrough. Of course, you can try this challenge as well. If your game of choice is Tears of the Kingdom, then this challenge can work as well. Here are the rules. At any given time, there is only one, what I like to call, active region. So at the beginning of the game, the Great Plateau is the active region. You can only do shrines and get Korok seeds in your current active region. Once you want to move on, that's when the roll of the die comes in. We're using a normal die or a six-sided die. The result of the roll is the cardinal direction on the map. Once we want to move to a new active region, rolling a 1 means we'll have to travel to the bordering region in the north. A 2 means we'll have to go to the right or east. A 3 means we'll have to go south. A 4 means we'll have to go left or west. So clockwise starting from the north. If we roll a 5, we will have the choice between north and south or up or down. If we roll a 6, then we'll have the choice between east and west or right or left. Make sense? One note, if 2 regions border on your active region, then you go to the region that borders the most on the one you're on. If they seem about equal, then you can choose which of the 2. Once we roll the die, the designated new active region is chosen, so you can't do any more shrines or Korok seeds in your previous regions. So you probably want to do as many shrines as you can and get as many Korok seeds as you can. You don't need to get every single last one, but as many as you feel comfortable getting. Obviously, you can't step on any regions that you haven't unlocked with the die. You can return to previous regions to collect ingredients, clothes, equipment, etc. It's only the shrines and Korok seeds that are off limits. For those of you trying this playthrough with Tears of the Kingdom, your active region also includes the same portion of the ground in the underworld. However, the sky is the limit. Literally, you are allowed to travel from one end of the sky to the other if you want. Remember, you can't actually step on any of the lands below that you haven't unlocked with a die, but if you build a flying contraption to travel to any sky island you want, then all the more power to you, it's allowed. Some other rules. You do need to activate the towers in your active regions, otherwise you can't leave the region until you do. If you unlock a region that has a divine beast on it, you will have to conquer that dungeon before moving on to new regions. Same goes for the temples in Tears of the Kingdom. If you unlock the central Hyrule region, you have to at least visit Hyrule Castle. You don't have to beat the final boss, obviously, you can do that anytime you choose, but you have to at least visit the castle. Just touching the big entrance doors to the castle counts. I will allow myself one cheat, so I can't call it a reroll, it's more like a wild card. If I use my cheat, then I can choose any of the neighboring regions bordering my active region. So once I want to move on from my current region, instead of rolling the die, using this cheat would grant me access to the direction of my choice. This could be handy if I'm near a region I really want to go to, or if a nearby region has a divine beast that I'd like to avoid for the time being. We'll see how it all goes. This cheat can also override the roll of a die if I want. So here we go. This game is a masterpiece, I absolutely love it. For years, fans of Zelda wanted Nintendo to create an open world Zelda. It took the developers years to create, but they created something special. The Legend of Zelda series is Nintendo's trump card. Some people would argue that Mario is Nintendo's trump card, but I don't agree. I think players who don't like Nintendo that much actually consider buying the console when a new Zelda game comes out. It's that influential. Some players have actually figured out how to clip through the walls here, or to clip inside the walls of shrines without activating the entrance. I could never manage this myself though. Ah, I love this opening. Link here, who has no memory of his previous life, stares off at Hyrule Castle in the distance. I love this opening because it's simple, but it conveys perfectly to the player what you're about to get into. This world feels desolate, very natural. You're left to wonder if there's any society or villages, or even people left. You feel alone in this gigantic natural world. And we get our first Korok seed. Koroks have a mixed reaction in this game, in Tears of the Kingdom. There's so many to find, I think like 900 in this game and 1,000 in Tears of the Kingdom. You really only need a few dozen. It allows to expand your weapon carry capacity, which is very useful. Not essential, but handy. This game also has some basic stealth elements, like getting sneak attacks on an enemy. Let's get this bokoblin here. Oh, I guess I couldn't surprise him. Look at this little hideout. Should we raid it? Oh shit! Stupid me, I don't have the paraglider yet. When you play this game in Tears, you have trouble imagining yourself without the glider. Every time I play these games, I forget at least once that I don't have it yet. Alright, we get a bow. Bows and arrows are as important as weapons in this game. Long-range headshots at enemies is one of your best go-tos. This game usually provides interesting scenarios too. In this example, we have a bunch of bokoblins down there, and we have some boulders up here. Let's ruin their day. Ah, I missed one. Alright, so we get to the first tower. Here you learn that it activates the map of the region you're in. You uncover parts of the map this way. Always useful. And there's Calamity Ganon, the final boss of the game. I always wondered if Calamity Ganon and Ganondorf from Tears of the Kingdom are the same entity, or are they two different entities? Tears doesn't make much of a connection between the two. They could be different entities for all we know. Fans have come up with all sorts of theories, but they both originate from underneath Hyrule Castle, so they might as well be connected. Alright, now we get to our first shrine. Here we learn Magnesis, a very useful ability. It allows you to move metal objects. This is usually handy for puzzles or traversing obstacles. They vastly improved this ability in Tears of the Kingdom. There they call it Ultra Hand, and you can glue different objects together. You can create all sorts of crazy contraptions. You can sometimes use these metal objects to your advantage, like distract or damage an enemy, like I'm doing with this little robot here. This game gives you many tools at your disposal, like the ability to put waypoints or markers on your map. You can look through a kind of telescope and you can mark things on your map. I love features like these.
He's always been a sucker for different gimmicks.
Now we get to the second shrine. Here we get the bombs, a staple of the Zelda franchise. I remember bombs introduced in the very first Zelda game. Here is another example of how Breath of the Wild gives you different options to approach problems. There are snow mountains in this region, which are usually too cold for Link to travel through. But you learn here that you can make meals using spicy peppers, and they give you protection against the cold for a set time. But if you read all the hints the game gives you, you can actually cook a special dish for the old man here, made with meat, fish, and a spicy pepper. If you figure this out, the old man gives you a warm doublet, a coat that protects against the cold. So you have two options to navigate the snow area. Here we have some bokoblins again, and a beehive with some bees. Let's see if we can set the bees on them. And dodging an attack at the right time also allows you to do a flurry rush. The Korok leaf creates a wind. Let's knock these bokoblins off the cliff.
Oh, Dylan, so cruel!
You think those bokoblins aren't gonna gobble me up given the chance? Now we get to the third shrine. Here we learn Stasis. This is kind of a time stopper ability, useful for some puzzles. You can also strike a stopped object and send it flying. Some people have actually managed to get off the Great Plateau with this ability before they're supposed to. Some more enemies to mess with, like a Looney Tunes cartoon. Another Korok, And the final shrine, we learn Cryonis, an ability that creates ice blocks from water, another useful ability. I love the sequel Tears of the Kingdom, but I have to admit I always miss the bombs and this Cryonis ability in that game. So we meet the old man at the Temple of Time, and we finally get the paraglider. Alright, let's scout this little hideout. Okay, I think we're ready to move on from the plateau. It's time to roll the die and see where I'll go next. Remember, 1 is north, 2 is east, 3 is south, 4 is west, 5 is north or south, and 6 is east or west. And I roll a 1, which means we're going north. Wow, I've unlocked the Hyrule region already, which is where the final boss is located. Phew, this is gonna be a pretty dangerous land to travel on, especially this early in the game. I could use my cheat to override this decision, but I won't do that. Let's see what this region has to offer. So I have 2 objectives in this region. Activate the tower, and I have to at least visit Hyrule Castle. Here we go, a successful parry. Alright, we're gonna mark the tower, get myself a horse. Although I'm usually sloppy at keeping track of my horses, you can't collect materials while riding your horse, so I usually end up just ditching them and running on. Oh no, 2 people are in trouble over there. Let's give them a hand. Ah shit. I'm coming folks, hang on tight. My god, these bokoblins are coming after me like horny dogs. And the 2 civilians are just standing there doing nothing. Link to the rescue! Oh, I'm dead again. Alright, my intentions were good, but you're on your own, guys. Obviously, there are battle tactics I can exploit, like jumping and striking my weapon onto the ground, which staggers your enemies, but sometimes I'm a little clumsy in battles. So we find another shrine. Here's another example of different ways to approach a problem. I can use stasis on one of these rolling spikes to stop it in its tracks and allow Link to pass, or I can use magnesis. Okay, that didn't work too well. Oh damn, these 2 little guardians. I'm still weak enough for most things to kill me in one hit. $50 damage, hell yeah, I want that. Ugh, I can't seem to time my dodges right. Whoa! Whew, I almost fell there. Again, this game gives you a setup. Flammable leaves, a torch. Alright, so we got out of that shrine with much better weapons. I got my butt kicked a little bit, but I didn't die in there. There's a shrine over there, but I don't think it's on this land. Oh, I guess it is on this land. It's within my boundaries, so I am allowed. Here's another way the game gives you subtle hints. At first you may not think this bowl has a purpose, but you have apples in a tree very close, and... Now this tower is actually pretty dangerous. There are a couple of stationary guardians nearby, and another guardian that patrols the area. They target you and can fire lasers. You can fight them if you're good at parrying their lasers with your shield. The timing is pretty precise, and if I can't parry the laser, it would break my shield, assuming I don't die, which I probably would at this early point. So it's a high-risk fight. I personally fight these when I'm stronger. Oh shit, I'm in trouble. You get targeted climbing this tower, so you have to time your cover right. Alright, we made it. Okay, so as per my rules, I have to at least visit Hyrule Castle. Just touching the big front doors at the entrance gate counts, but I will actually visit the inside of the castle. Dropping a bomb. Oh, a big hardy radish. You wouldn't know it at first, but this is a surprisingly overpowered cooking ingredient. When you cook it in a pot, even by itself, it completely heals your hearts and gives you extra hearts on top of that. Experienced players abuse this feature and practically never die, assuming that they don't get one-shotted. If you're observant, you can actually get information from this poster. Some players might think it's only a decoration for the game, but it actually shows the recipe and the ingredients needed. This is the type of clever world building I like in this game. Alright, here we are at another shrine. Shit, I missed the treasure. Now we have a whiz robe. The fire kind. I don't have ice arrows. I do want his fire rod though. I like those. Oh, cool, that's in my range. Ah, crap. That's clumsiness on my part. Dead again. Oh, F you, F you, F you. I was just about to get him, but he was right on my ass. Another battle shrine. This abandoned town has a special treasure. I do have all the DLCs for this game. This area is dangerous though. I think there are Lizalfos here. Shit, electric arrows. Nah, this is too dangerous for me right now. Oh great, one friggin' arrow and I'm dead. Oh, okay, no, I've had enough. I'm gonna rest until daytime. I'm tired of being a little bowling pin for giant bowling balls. So we're gonna cook a few things. I'll need some advantages. I'm getting my ass kicked. Alright, this shrine near Hyrule Castle. Oh cool, the Guardian Arrow. This is a great item because you can insta-kill almost any enemy if you get them in the eye. Useful for the Guardians or even the dreaded Lionels. I believe you don't get their spoils though. Dead again. Thank God I'm not doing a maximum death count. I was pondering this for this playthrough, if I should do a maximum death count, where I would stop playing if I reached a certain number. I decided not to put it in. I didn't know if any viewers would be disappointed if I had to give up on this challenge. Alright, the Hyrulean Shield is in the castle, if I can remember how to get there. This definitely would be a worthwhile trip. And success, we found it. I have to admit this is the earliest I've ever visited Hyrule Castle and obtained this shield. There is a shrine in the lower parts of this castle, if I can find it. It's worth finding so I can warp back to this castle at a later time. Oh, it's a major test of strength. Blah, I'll skip it. This thing has a lot of hit points. I'd go through most of my strong weapons to take it down. Now we're at the library hall. I believe there is a secret shelf here. Oh cool, the phantom armor. Wow, it gives me increased strength. Yes please, I'll use this. Damn, this guardian's right on my ass. Let's warp out of here.
Wimp.
I think there's a treasure around here too. Yay, Majora's Mask. I never played that game. There's a shrine over there, but nope, it's not on my map. I can't go. Okay, I'll do this last shrine, then I'm ready to move on to another region. And that's it. We'll stop it here for today, but join me in the next episode when I'll roll the die and move on to another region. Which direction am I gonna go to next? Keep gaming everyone, and see you in the next episode.